in any case, the idea that I wanted to come to you with was, what is a packaged solution for someone who owns an alligator farm and wants to be able to look and say, hey, look, I see an alligator farm. What's my lat long snapshot? And then be able to go out and, procure said alligator eggs.
Well, I'm going to tell you the basic idea of this. Any of the DJI drones would let you go up, point the camera straight down, and just you
I have a holy
grid
smoke
or something.
Okay, because
the video on a DJI drone is so much better than this. Infinitely better than.
Oh gosh, infinitely. All right, that's a lot.
Well, I mean, it's not really infinite. There's some hyperbole in what I'm saying.
For varying degrees of infinite,
for sure.
Okay, well that's interesting because again, I went out there. The holy smoke, I got it for I think $260 on Amazon, and but the DJI, the one that I was looking at, I think the comparable model was about $1,000, and I wasn't ready to make that jump for my first drone. But after seeing this, I think that this could be an interesting solution for that.
We've got a guy we need to introduce you to then. We've bumped into and made drone friends at one of the drone places that we fly. And there's somebody out there that buys and refurbishes damaged DJI drones.
Okay.
Yeah.
On that he finds on he finds on eBay, and he buys and he refurbishes and resells.
And he's almost in your neighborhood, Tommy.
Yeah.
Okay, like in Louisiana neighborhood or my actual neighborhood?
At where you actually live. I have questions that would be relevant to this. How big is a gator farm? I mean, I don't need to know exact amount, but I'm just curious, is it half the size of Texas or twice as big as the cornfield? I don't know. What
well, and
maybe 100 times your backyard? You're
okay.
We're talking like tens of acres. I think that they actually own maybe
But that's what you want to survey with the drone.
Acres. We're talking acres worth.
Yep.
Yeah. How much of it isn't reachable by vehicle?
Almost all of it.
How hard would it be to carry a drone? Because your drone's got. Well, with the Mavic and stuff, you're going to have plenty of range to go.
That was actually another question, is because very often they would go in the pontoon boat, and we're talking the pontoon boat. By that I mean the boat with aluminum hull, and then the big butt fan in the back that you've seen in all those swamp movies, where the person's driving it by the stick in the front, and just all it does is go left and right, and it's the fan that's about the size of them, about a 6-foot fan. Yeah, that's what they would go out in. So you would want something that could maybe take off and land from that specific, precise of a location.
If you practice with these DJIs, especially the little ones, you could get them down to where you can reach them, and you grab them by the underside and you flip them upside down, and they shut off.
And it just turns off.
Everybody does this. I've never done it, but I watch people do it. I mean, people who I would not think are athletic or skilled or anything, because it just stands there. It's right. It'll be just hovering just above you, and you just walk underneath it, and you just go boop and pop it out of the.
Are there guards to the?
No, but you grab it by the underbelly, props? Where there's the props are above and you're underneath, and you kind of.
Okay. Oh, and I know that due to the DJIs, well, at least one has one of them has these legs on them that kind of come down from.
They pretty much all do now.
Yeah. Oh, they all do. Okay, because I thought I've seen one that has just the body itself, and that's it, the body and the props.
Well, most of the common, the one Alex is going to tell you to buy, have foldable arms that fold into a little narrow fuselage, not like the old ones where it was a big X-shaped bubbly. But I'm mostly wondering about distance, because I was going to start at the small end because other people are listening. I was going to tell you about the little DJI Mini 2.
Okay.
The neat thing about him is that he's under 250 grams. So no matter what they do with whatever the FAA ID does with the laws, anybody can fly this. But
I think that they're okay getting that, because that's a $5 registration fee, right? And
well,
that's it.
we don't know how things are going to be in a year or two. We don't. I don't.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of
Right. So,
it's kind of in the air.
Yep. So to speak,
Oh, are these like
Pardon the
laws
pun.
that are in the air? Nice.
changing. Yeah. What?
Yeah,
Oh.
the FAA has proposed a whole bunch of stuff that's, I guess, worrisome if you're a hobbyist.
Like retroactively worrisome, or like, hey, going forward,
Yeah. Well,
like buy your
we've
drone
been
now
worried that in
because
2 years the stuff that we have we won't be able to fly legally.
really.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
things are better.
There's a-
Things are not as scary as we thought they were going to be. But the little guy,
Okay.
everybody on all the pilots we know that fly a little bit of DJI stuff, they all say this little DJI Mini will fly for about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. It has decent range and it uses OcuSync like the bigger ones. The Mini 1 did not. It was kind of garbage. You know, with one battery and the controller, it's like $400, I think. 400 or 500? I'm afraid to click too many buttons here, but I've got the specs up in the little live stream. But the Mini,
Yeah.
it's small. It folds up to be about the size of a sandwich, like a hamburger. It's a little, tiny little guy. It's adorable. But then Alex was recommending the much more expensive, but still way less than $1,000. I've got to stop. We're not supposed to say that
Whoops.
part.
Not nearly as expensive as the alternative.
Yes. But
Yeah.
Alex was recommending the Mavic 2 Zoom. So I assume because you can, when you see what you're looking at, you can get a closer look with the zoom lens.
Okay.
But he's $1,800 with the controller.
Not true.
I got to tell everybody, I don't fly any of this photography stuff. I fly the little fun FPV racing drones. So this is like a whole different world. I'm adjacent to it. I understand what's going on over there, but I don't participate in it. So I'm a little out of touch.
And so that's another thing, is the longevity, is that they were looking for something that would go for hours. And I told them, you're better off going for 20 minutes at a time and then swapping out the battery and bringing it back.
Yep, that's what
Is
you're
that-
going to be
yeah.
doing
Okay.
no matter
Yeah,
no
that's
matter
what I
what.
thought.
Anything
Like-
with a camera on it. Yep. And the batteries for the $1,800 Mavic are $150 each. They fly for 30 minutes, and the batteries for the little Mini 2, the $400 drone, are $55 each.
That
and they're
still
about
seems
20-minute flight.
completely, a little bit high, but still would meet their needs given
Yeah.
the thing.
Well, how much would their workflow change if you didn't have to hire a helicopter and get all the work done while you have the helicopter? Now you can
Yeah.
could
survey
do a little
this
bit every
strip
day.
today and
Yeah.
then come back
'Cause-
next week and survey. I mean, I don't know, this grid, this unit quadrant.
Yeah, that's a great point, because there's two parts to this, right, at least currently, because one part is go find the nest, and the second part is go get the eggs. What if you could consolidate that into one thing of like, go find the nest. Oh, there it is. Go get it.
Yeah, just go get it.
Yeah.
Just don't wait. Yeah. How often do they do this kind of helicopter survey?
I don't know. Let's say once a year,
Okay.
because it's a seasonal thing.
Makes sense.
Alligators are kind of, they're bound by nature, and there's certain times of the year that they'll get
Now, Tommy,
amorous.
our friend in the chat, Will Greenfield here, he's doing all kinds of do-it-yourself machine learning, camera, drone, custom
Feedback for
stuff.
object recognition.
And he's in our
Okay, yeah,
Discord. You should
William.
totally talk to him. He's a smart guy.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely talk to Will in Discord.
So again,
And you
professionally, I am a cloud solution architect. So I am looking at this from a Azure, because that's my realm, is Azure perspective. And I'm thinking, gosh, wouldn't it be great if, as it was taking a picture, it did that whole hot dog or not, or really is a alligator nest or not, and then send these back to the cloud and tells you, hey, look, there's a potential alligator nest or not. And it just did that, scanned the entire field, and then told you, hey, look, at these GPS coordinates, there's a greater than 50% chance that there's a alligator nest. And that would be, again, a package solution. I think would be
I'm
awesome.
gonna talk to you out of my butthole if that's okay, because I don't have any verification
I
of
love
any of
those.
this.
I
But as
miss your
far as I
butthole.
know, DJI has an API where you can get, you can interact with the drone programmatically somehow, but I don't know anything about how it works. I remember seeing it for another company licensed some of DJI's tech, and they made a little drone called the Rise Tello, RYZE. Little tiny
Okay.
guy for $80. I mean, it's not good. It's a terrible camera, but but it used DJI software, and you can tell it go up so many feet, go forward, take a picture, and you can get the picture back and then process the picture. I have at least a 70% confidence level that there's a way to do that with the big DJI stuff.
Okay. And given that there's an API, that's fantastic. That opens up a whole bunch of
But I'm
doors
only
for.
70% sure. That's my confidence. That's my made up confidence level.
Because I'll have to admit, there's been this thought of like this could be an interesting venture, like a business model for other companies.
Well, and I was about to ask a related question. If this is for commercial purposes for your own business, would you need the Part 107 license?
Probably, technically, you do.
What does that entail?
I don't know that.
A test.
Well,
it's a test
a test.
and studying.
It's
like a pilot license.
It's a
test.
Yeah.
A subset of a pilot's license, essentially.
Is it easy? Like a
There are
person from
study guides
Louisiana,
out there.
like such as myself, could win?
You could get it.
pass
I
it.
know you
I
could
would
get
imagine
it.
with somebody of your knowledge and expertise and practice in taking technical certifications, you'd be able to get to Part 107 without many problems.
Okay.
But I've never looked at the test or even the practice quizzes. It
But this is the
seems
test.
well, it's a little silly.
Okay, and this
the
is the
amount of
test
knowledge
for
you
like
have to-
commercial drone flying,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Well, this is for anybody who's using a drone for commercial
For
purposes.
anything that involves
You know,
money changing hands anywhere in the
if I'm
chain.
if I'm a real estate agent and I have an apartment building and I've just happened to fly drones, I need a Part 107 if I want to do some drone photography of the apartment that I want to lease you.
Okay. Well, that's a bit different because in this case, they own the land and they're doing this
Yeah.
for their own personal use
that's-
to then sell.
well-
So, like, it's.
Yeah, are they? Well, you don't need to answer this. I'm not really asking you this, Tommy. But if they're selling the eggs or using the eggs to make something that they then sell, or I mean, I don't know, gator soup or something at their restaurant, it's commercial technically, as far as the FAA is concerned.
Okay. So, as
But-
far as the FAA
and I-
is concerned, because that's what really matters. It's a,
Yeah.
hey, look,
Yep.
you're using this for a commercial reason, even if it's not a direct to the other consumer. This is for a commercial reason, and therefore you need that 107
Yep.
license.
Pretty much what we're saying, Tommy, is I'm not going to tell all of YouTube that you could just do this without a license. You're supposed to have a license. I would encourage you to do it legally. But
And
I shouldn't-
fair enough.
But without the wink. Without the wink.
Fair.
Well,
hint, hint.
And what
yes.
what I was going to get to with the 107, I mean, you said you're at the ends of the earth. If there were people in the area who had a Part 107, you could probably hire somebody who has a fleet of quadcopters just to try it out without even having to invest the $500 or $1,800 on a new quadcopter and the time to learn it.
Yeah, for way less than the helicopter rental cost.
Way less than a helicopter rental. Probably,
Yeah, some company
I
that's
would imagine.
got this infrastructure and got this laid down already would be really nice. Open
Well,
to
they don't even
ideas,
have to have
especially-
They don't have to
They
have
don't even have to
exactly
have-
what you're looking for. They just have to have the equipment you want to use and a pilot that's experienced and
Can take directions.
Yeah, and then you can
isn't
see-
terrified of alligators.
Alex asked us if we Googled whether there's a gator hunting drone service that already exists. And I did not Google too hard, but I did not find one just now.
I have not. A Mavic seems to be the answer. I will go and report that information back to them. they would be very interested. Again, if there's someone that's willing to, show them the ropes, I think they're very interested in that because, again, a whole bunch of coon asses, a whole bunch of Louisiana rednecks with helicopters. First off, boats. It's a little bit
where
scary.
do you find
fan boats?
107 pilots that are trying to sell their services? Are they on Craigslist or something, or do they have their own website?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, 107er.
Because boy, I bet you could pay somebody a
celebrities.
few $100 to bring their drone and do an hour's worth of
Training.
or at least or even a demo of what you want to do. Have them do what you would like to do to see how feasible it would be. Versus spending $400 on the smaller Mavic and then having to futz around with it for so many hours, just trying to figure out how to do what you want to try to do. What do you find folks out there in YouTube land think? Did Brian and I do a pretty good job today? If we did, you can let us know by hitting that like button down there, or maybe you want to leave us a comment and let us know if we're doing a good job. And if we didn't do a good job, that's something you can leave in the comments too. You can tell us why we were wrong, what we did wrong, how stupid we are. You can tell everybody you don't like my haircut.
We live stream the recording of these episodes on the first Tuesday of every month, and we're inviting you to come join us. Make sure you subscribe to the Butter What channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future live streams and episodes.
You don't even have to wait until the next live stream. You can come and hang out with us in Discord and participate in our community over there. There's a link in the description. So if you want to check that out, you can definitely do that. For tuning in, and I hope we get to see you next time.